I'm here with Andy Willoughby, inventor, mathematician, musician, and of course, as before, as I said, probably most interestingly, ex-carny. And maybe we'll get him to talk about those days, but I'll have to probably put an age restriction on it.
We traveled all over the United States. We had so much fun, made a lot of money. But nowadays, with that background, I'm taking on a new challenge, and that is I've invented a music teaching device known as the Chord Teacher. And it's based on math, but you don't need to know the math, don't need to be good at math, you don't need to understand any of this math. All you need is, here's your guitar. You just usually need 3 or 4 chords on a guitar, or you can put these on a piano keyboard and dial up the different chords, different keys, different octaves. This shows you where to find all of the notes. So you need the chord G. The notes are G, B, and D. Here's the notes G, B, and D. G, B, D, G, B, D. And then you slide this underneath the guitar strings. Anywhere you can find a G, B, D, find your chord. Find your notes of your chord and then play your strings based on math. Say, for instance, your sheet music was asking for the chord A7, for instance. We're going to find the 7 is right there. The 7 means it's a augmented 7th chord, or excuse me, a dominant 7th chord. And it was A, so we put our root to the A. This tells us the notes at A, C sharp, E, G on our piano. A, C sharp, E, G. Shows you right where to put your fingers. A, C sharp, E, G. Slide the top underneath the guitar strings, and here's A, C sharp, E, G. Can also be played here. A, C sharp, E, G. Find your notes, slide it out, and there's the chord right at your fingertips.
Amazing.
This makes 504 different chord inversions, and most songs are just 3 or 4 chords. And usually they're 3 or 4 major chords, minor chords put together. And we got all of the different jazz chords and stuff here, all based on math, but we don't need to know the math. These dials for dialing up the different music chords here are right here. But I want you to keep your eye focused here. All of our 3-note chords form perfect little mathematical triangles. 4-note chords, a bunch of trapezoids. We don't need to know this math. When we're playing music, we're literally playing mathematical shapes of triangles and trapezoids.
Amazing.
So I'm figuring this out. I miraculously got a piano when I was 38 years old. However, I've been playing music ever since I was a teenager. Mostly Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull. I was trying to play Yes, but Yes is very complicated. And some other
progressive rock.
I grew up in that era. I was a teenager in the 70s playing and listening to prog rock. I still listen to that. It's not out of style. And so anyway, but then when I was 38 years old, I miraculously got a piano, and a friend of mine I go to church with taught me everything that's on this line here. I'd been playing music since I was a teenager, but I did not know that C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then my piano teacher explains to me, and this is the most important thing to know, it's true with all keys, but easiest to see in the key of C, that we're going over that note. It's called a step. Over that note is a step. Go to the note immediately next door is a half step. And then we do a step, a step, a step, and then a half step. Some people call that a whole half. Whole half. And then a couple of weeks later, my piano teacher shows me how the chords go up. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. Suddenly, all of the music I struggled with as a teenager, like that, got easy, because now I understood what I was doing, and I never knew this stuff. And so then he teaches me how to play some gospel tunes and stuff, and I was trying to play him a couple rock and roll songs. He said, you gotta stop playing like that. It's a friend I go to church with. So
Right,
anyway,
right.
he,
Satanic
he
music.
teaches me these rules, teaches me how to play some gospel tunes, and he gave me 13 piano lessons and taught me all the basics. I just never knew. And music like that got easier. So then I'm teaching my 3 kids the stuff that's on this line here. How music is a step, step, half step, 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 half step. I'm teaching my kids the 3-note chords, what are known as triad chords, and we're at D minor. And I'm telling my kids to get from D to F to A. To start at D, count 2 notes for the step, count 1 note for the half step, count 2, count 2. My youngest daughter, she goes like this. She goes 1, 2, 3, and I said, no, honey, it's not 3. It's a 2 and then a 1, meaning a step and a half step. And my daughter climbs up on my piano bench, and she gets this far from my nose and says, my teacher told me that 2 + 1 is 3, and I believe her. And she was shaking. Gave me a look only 4 other women on the planet can give me. Her sister, her mother, my grandmother. And it's like, no. She let me live, and I started doing the math.
Yeah.
And as I was doing the math, one day I realized I could put the math for the music chords in circles, these dials. And then the math got interesting. Here's the dials here for my chord teacher. I want you to keep your eye focused here and here. All of our 3-note chords form perfect little mathematical triangles. And then our 4-note chords are trapezoids. So over the weeks and months after that, I'm finding all this different math type stuff, and I'm showing my piano teacher week after week at church, and he's quite shocked. He told me to go and talk to some professional musicians and some music teachers who teach at one of the most prestigious music schools in the world, Eastman School of Music. Happens to be around the
right
corner
here in
from
Rochester,
here,
yeah.
and right around the corner from the church that we go to, and 4 Eastman professors go to church there. So I'm showing them the math that I'm coming up with, these triangles, these trapezoids, and they're shocked. And they started pushing me to invent my chord teacher, and they all thought it was a good idea and stuff like that. So now I'm navigating the different notes. Say, for instance, we look at this like it's a clock. C would be at 12 o'clock, E would be at 4 o'clock, and G would be at 7 o'clock. C sharp would be 1, 5, and 8. But let's go back to C major at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And I'm finding that each one of the chords is forming mathematical shapes, and we're getting triangles and little mathematical stick figures, 120 degrees, 90 degrees, and navigating the notes in a circle. So my piano teacher, who was a social studies teacher for the Rochester...
Hammocks?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. Now you got me sidetracked. Rochester City School District. He was a social studies teacher teaching high school social studies. He taught his students year after year this book here, Longitude.
Oh, yeah, what a great book.
Yeah.
You're the one who told me to read that.
Yes, it is fascinating. About this inventor from 300 years ago by the name of John Harrison. So my piano teacher, his name was Phil, hands me this book. He says, Andy, he says, I want you to read this book. He says, this book has absolutely nothing to do with music. But it's about this inventor guy who lived 300 years ago, a clockmaker, who totally went against the way everybody was trying to figure out what they called the longitude problem, solved it with a clock, and he became very famous, and towards the end of his life, he got quite rich off of his idea. He says, I think you're doing the same thing with music. He says, you are totally going against all of the rules, and nobody does music this way.
Right.
I think you're onto something. Read this book. So I walk away, and I'm thinking, yeah, right, I've got time, I've got, 2 careers,
got your family already? Yeah.
I got 3 kids, and a social life, and where am I going to find time? And a couple of weeks later, I started reading the book here, and so they're navigating ships around the ocean by time, the 24 hours. And let's pretend that this is the Earth with 12 hours instead of 24. Say this is England, and you're trying to get to Jamaica and then to Florida or whatever. And you got to navigate around the ocean by time, which is what they were doing. And I'm navigating 1, 5, and or for instance, 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, for the different. So he hands me the book. He said, "I want you to read this book. It's about this clock reader." So I start reading the book, and now they're navigating ships around the ocean, longitude. I'm navigating ships around, and so it was a fascinating book. So I read it like 3 or 4 times. And I go to church with these guys, and they're pushing me to do the math and to invent my chord teacher. A friend of mine tells me there's no black notes, and music starts out at just the white notes, are natural notes. Music had no sharps, no flats. Original. My piano teacher, Philip, he says, "Andy, I don't believe you. Prove it to me. Go talk to the Eastman School of Music professors." And I'm asking them, and none of them knew. They started pushing me really hard to do the math and figure all this stuff out.
Wow.
So like I say, I go to church with these guys. I started praying, "God, how does music work? Jesus, how does this really, really, really work?" For about 1.5 years, not knowing what I was getting myself.
Ask and you shall receive, cut deal?
Yes, exactly. I didn't know what I was asking for. The next time, I'm not so sure what to ask.
Right,
anyway,
right.
Let's get back on track here.
Yeah.
So in December of 2000, this was the most vivid dream I ever had in my life. And it started right here at D, and this is where my daughter told me that 2 + 1 = 3. I'm going to kill you, Dad. And so I saw the note D, and then I saw a +3 in F, and then +4 is A, +4 is 3, +3 is C. I'm watching all these notes go +3, +4, +3, +4, +3, +4. And it seemed like it's going on forever. And all of a sudden it slowed down and it stopped, and then it went reverse. -3, -4, -3, -4, -3, -4. And I'm watching the notes going by. -3, -4, -3, -4. And it seems like it's going on forever. And then it slows down and stops, and suddenly I am thrown inside of this. This is the most vivid dream I ever had in my entire life. It was like I was inside a clock or inside a watch, and I'm watching all of the notes spinning around me, falling in place, going +7, +7, +7, +7, +7, +7, +7, +7, +7, through the whole spectrum of music harmony.
Fascinating.
So I'm watching all these notes, and at this point, it's basically going -3, +4, -3, +4, -3, +4, and as it did, it went C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, +4, -3, +4, -3, tick tock, tick tock, like it was inside a clock. 5-minute dream. Took 6.5 years to draw out a 5-minute dream. These are the black and white notes on our piano. This diagram here is the mathematical relationship of all of the notes, of all of the chords, of all of the keys, of all of Western music is in this diagram. Every key, every note, mathematically all linked up. So I'm redoing it all.
6 years.
6.5 years, yeah.
Wow.
Lost the very best girlfriend I ever had in my life at this point. It's like, "Andy, you're crazy. Will you put your markers away and stop playing my piano? And will you pay attention to me? This is crazy. Honey, this could be worth millions of dollars." She's like, "Yeah, call me when you're rich." She don't. Oh, well. I guess that was a good thing. Even though she was the best girlfriend I had at that point. But,
oh my gosh.
But just part of the journey.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, when I first did this, it was a random set of colors.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, so it's kind of a little muddy looking through here because the colors. Basically what I did is that when my kids were little at the time, and I had some magic markers, so on my piano I used a green marker for the note G because G starts with, or green starts with G. And I used a blue marker for B, but it was basically a random set of colors here.
Oh.
But then 4 years ago, I'm redoing the entire thing now in the colors of the rainbow. And as I've been doing that, I've been discovering much more than I did. I've discovered more in the last 4.5 years than I did in this short.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So here is the black and white notes on our piano. And it's ruled by mathematics. Each one of our do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, does, which is known as Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Ruled by these sets of mathematics that I call clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades, clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades, which goes on and on forever. You see the black and white notes on the piano here, starting here at C. Clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades, clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. And then it goes through the next key, the next octave, and through the next key, next octave, following that mathematical rules of clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. And this is the diamonds where my daughter told me 2 + 1 is 3, which is basically D plus 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 2 plus 2, 4. The next one, E minor, is different. The diamond is 2 + 1, 3, and the heart is 1 + 2 is 3. They're both 3 + 4. So this is 2 + 1. This is 1 + 2 as we're going through the steps and stuff. There's a very subtle difference. There's a huge mathematical difference between a heart and a spade mathematically, but I don't need to go into all of that crazy math and stuff. So in this dream, I'm inside of music's harmony, and the first part, as I was saying, goes, the notes are going +3, +4, +3, +4, +3, +4, +3, +4, starting here at C major, which is this guitar chord here, C major, then E minor, then G major, then B minor, so on, going +3, +4. If we take the notes C, E, and G, that is the chord C major. We add the B to it, is now the chord C major 7th. We put a D on there, it's now C major 9th, as it would be our roots, our 3rd, our 5th, our 7th, and then our 9th, literally 0, +4, +3, +4, +3, +4, +3, +4, +3, +4.
Wow.
So this came to me as a dream, and I'll play it for you. And the dream started here at D, and this is where my daughter told me 2 + 1 is 3. Evidently, I should have learned, I should have paid attention in, kindergarten, junior high, high school.
High school.
Who knew? Anyway, this comes to me as a dream, and it came to me, so I see D. D's dragging a little +3, which is F, then a +4, A, +3, C, +4, +3, +4, +3, +4 is the song. Battery died. Pause.
Okay.
I get some different. Here clockwise, and now I'm going to go doing the same thing, but I'm going to go counterclockwise, going starting here, like say for instance at G, and then I'm going down -3, -4, -3, -4, -3. is no beginning, there is no end. But there is a middle, we call that middle C. So, as I'm dreaming this,
Yeah.
as I saw all of those notes go by forward, and then in the last section here, I did those notes / chords in reverse, 24 of them, 12 major chords, 12 minor chords. There are 2 circles of fifths here based on major chords, and there's a circle of fifths of the minors and stuff. But then I'm thrown inside of it. And as it's going -3 +4, -3 +4, tick tock, tick tock. It went C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And it kept on going and going and going and watching all these notes go tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And the most vivid dream I ever had in my entire life. And then watching all this stuff, and so I'm watching the notes going, -3 +4, -3 +4, and I'm watching them all fall around me, and they're kind of like just in this order of the notes, the chords, the keys. And then A minor comes by, or A with a little 3, so it's what they call a minor third, comes by and it's dragging a little 3. And in my dream, I want to see where this sucker's going. I'm cranked way around and I'm watching. And then it disappeared over the horizon. As soon as I came back around, no, the notes come right towards me. I ducked so that it wouldn't hit me, and that woke me up out of my dream.
Oh, wow.
It's December. It is cold out, and I am literally sweating from head to toe. I sat up, and the sweat is dripping off my arms. Where I was lying down, my pillow, my blanket soaked in sweat. My heart was pounding. And I said to myself, Andy, you spend way too much time at your piano. But it was such an extremely vivid dream, and as I said, I started writing it out. It took a while, a few days to get this out. That day I had it all written out, just with a pen on a white piece of paper, but not in colors and stuff.
Yeah.
I realized it was 24 notes, but it actually took me quite a few months to figure out the clockwork that I was in. And these being the black and white notes on the piano, and it all here by these different angles. And angles look like this. Inside of music, watching this clockwork of notes and watching the 2 hands spinning around me. And so here's the key of C. Starting right here. Oops. There's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, which is in this line here. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C's 9th is the note D, and is the beginning of the key of D. D, E, F sharp,